candidate for it. Oh, someone said Tim Scott with Rand Paul as a VP. I'm sorry, Rand
That's
Paul.
not gonna happen.
No, Rand Paul is Rand Paul is a little segment of the party that's dying. Rand Paul is the past. The future is populism and nationalism. It's people like Matt Gaetz, like Laura Loomer. I think Matt Gaetz will run 1 year. I don't think 24 is his time. He's too young. But Matt Gaetz is a future president. Tim Scott possibly, but I don't see. I'll be honest. I don't see anybody.
Honestly, I can see a Tim Scott. Hold on, I can see a Tim Scott and a Vernon Jones. I kind of think that Vernon Jones has been kind of pushing this power move because I think he wants more than where he's at. Because it benefits him to support Trump right now because then he'll have the Trumpicans and he'll be like, hey, I was awake during this time frame, and then it will also maybe help gain some Democrats to vote as well. So if maybe a Tim Scott and Vernon Jones ticket might work out.
Here's the thing too, I think we could have another black horse thing like Trump. Like someone who wasn't really into politics, and they just sort of materialize.
Who would that be, though? That's very, very few people. Very few.
Yeah.
What if?
I don't think there's anybody like that right now.
Oh, someone said Alan West, and I don't know who John James is, but that's what someone else had said.
John James is running for Senate in Michigan.
Yeah,
he
he's
has
not
a bright future, but
yeah,
he is nowhere ready for presidential time. He still needs to win a Senate race. I don't think the Republicans. I think this is honestly what's going to happen, and I'm not saying this is what should happen, but I think this is what's going to happen. Is Republicans aren't going to have a big star in 2024 unless Pence runs, and you're going to end up with a Democrat president. I think it's very likely, given history, many other things. It's going to be a Democrat. It's probably going to be.
But people don't like Mike Pence like that, though.
I think, but I think people like Mike Pence a lot. I totally disagree.
That's not what
I mean. Trump supporters, they love Mike Pence a lot
because he's fucking tied to Trump.
Exactly, and that's why he
would
run.
But that's not.
See, hold on. So that's the problem the Democrats are having with they're tying Biden to Obama, and that's not working.
Yeah, but the problem is Biden is a weak candidate, whereas Mike Pence is not.
So this could be like the way I see this, because Sean does have a good point, and this just made me think of something. If Pence were to run, he could win, but here's the thing. I think that Pence would kind of be like George H.W. Bush all over again, because think about it this way, folks. Why did people vote I mean, I know that none of us were born in 1989, but why did people vote for George H.W. Bush? It was because of Reagan, and Reagan ended the Cold War, right?
Well, Clinton was in between that though, so so why did they pick Bush Jr. then? Because Clinton was first after Reagan. Well, okay, hold on. There was Senior, and then it was Bill.
Well, right, and that's it. I'm not talking about Clinton, okay? Forget about Clinton. I'm talking about why people voted for H.W. Bush though first. It was because of Reagan, and so And so I think if anyone votes for, I think if Pence gets the nomination, that is the only way Pence would win. But again, that's a big if. If Pence were to run.
Here's the thing too, is that look, I personally am not I think when Trump first picked Pence, I was indifferent because Pence is farther right than I am, more religious than I am, and a lot of the country's kind of the same way. But as time went on, and I understand the strategic pick and it's really smart. As time went on, I've also grown to actually like the guy a lot more.
Yeah.
And while I think if Pence, let me put it this way, if Pence had never been vice president and ran 2024, he would lose. But if he does run 2024, he's an automatic front runner nomination locked in. And it's only because of Trump. And look, Pence, I think, is a smart enough guy to know where the pulse of the country's at. He is more religious than I would take. So is Mitt Romney, and Mitt Romney won the nomination. I'm not saying Pence would win the general. He probably would, maybe. I don't know, actually. I really don't know, actually, but he would win the nomination. If we could get Mitt fucking Romney to get the nomination, we could get Mike Pence the nomination.
I think there's a good chance it's within the Trump family.
Yeah,
No,
I honestly think if it's
No.
Junior,
No,
I
I'll
do.
tell
I
you
think
why.
it's Junior.
No,
People
you
don't
actually, interestingly enough, Junior, according to Mike Cernovich, has no interest in running for president at all. We'll see
I
if
don't
that's
think that's
true.
true.
Yeah.
This is why I don't think it's true.
Yeah, but
'Cause
that's Mike
all these
Cernovich
plants he
saying
puts
that.
out-
Donald Trump didn't want to run for president, but
Yeah,
he felt
did.
like
Yeah, he did. He did
Well-
it actually once before too. He had made it quite clear in 2012 too. He was thinking about running. That Roger Stone had been with him for years, pushing him to run, and they'd been talking about that. Has been. I remember even in 2012 when we thought he was going to run, and we were hoping for it. Trump had the eye on the prize for a while. Don Jr., I can't read it. He could, he might not, but Cernovich says no. And
Sean, have you listened
trust
to or
Cernovich.
read his book Triggered? Have you listened to Triggered or watched it? I mean, read
Not
it.
yet.
That may be the reason why you don't think he would run, because it sounds to me like he didn't say he would run, but all these books he's putting out, I'm kind of thinking like there's kind of a setup, like he's pulling it up so he can run, because people like kind of like talking about, oh, I want Ivanka to run, but like Junior,
No.
people are chanting his name for 2024 in the rallies.
I think
So
2024 would
eat
be
it
a
up.
bit too soon for him because he doesn't really have, like, Trump built his business, and so that gives him a strong backing credentials to run without political experience. Don Jr. inherited it. I mean, I'm not saying it to degrade him or anything because he's amazing. I love the guy, and he's a patriot, but he didn't build what Trump has. So he doesn't have this strong credibility of an outsider just yet. It's just he needs a little something else. And I don't know what that would be, but he needs a little something else to prove he is a strong businessman. Because a lot of people just see him as the son of Trump that kind of inherited what his dad has. Trump
But
is the
he's
builder.
stronger on 2A though. That's another reason why people love him. He's stronger on 2A, like the bump stocks and stuff. Like he is way more like more.
He is more
He's
pro
more.
gun, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that will also help him win. And then Trump has his family all helping him and backing him up. So would Junior. So people are going to assume and think this will be the same team.
Yeah, and I think, look, I know Don Jr. has thought about running for president. There's no way he hasn't. But will he do it? I don't know. I really don't know. I really can't read it. And Kimberly making moves and being his girlfriend, she might see some potential in him too becoming a president. I don't know.
I did not
But
realize that she was the ex-wife of Gavin Newsom.
that's
That
so
kind of threw me off.
Well,
That threw me off. I don't know. I don't know. Like I understand people can change their minds, but I just feel like I can't trust anybody who came over there. I don't know. Don Jr. I'm not saying you should break up with her, but like it's kind of like a little red flag. That's it for me.
second.
here's what I think matters the most for who run 2024. What is Trump's legacy gonna look like? Is he gonna be remembered as a good president, or are people gonna want to disassociate with him? And I don't think
going back.
I don't know yet. We don't know that yet.
No,
Okay.
they want more. They want more. The base is so fired up right now.
Right
They
now.
want
So if I say
4 years
if I
in
say
July.
this, who's going to disagree with me? Okay. This RNC. First off, the RNC was a wild success, but I have to say that Kimberly Guilfoyle speech, that might have been the most cringe moment of the fucking RNC.
It was
Huh?
cringe.
Yeah.
Like she was at a rally.
It was pretty
It was like
cringe.
she was at a rally, but it wasn't a rally environment.
I mean, it was bad. I was
It
like,
wasn't
no
good.
fucking way.
I didn't. The only thing I saw was the memes from it, and I was like, "Oh boy."
It was bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
I mean, thankfully, the Republicans, every Republican after that pretty much nailed it the rest of the way. But like, Yeah, that was
I
bad.
just
It
think
was
she's
bad.
used to like the rally environment and her yelling and stuff. That would have worked perfect